Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video News Now. Let me give you a quick review of what we're going to look at today. The first is this Sasquatch sighting at this some location in the Blue Mountains. Apparently there is this is a Bigfoot hotspot, and a mother and daughter spotted this Bigfoot walking up a hill here. And we'll see a close-up of this. Also have this video here. I think this was just recently taken. Yeah, this was just uploaded not too long ago from UFO VNI 2012. These people captured this strange light over, I'm not too sure if this is a lake or the ocean. Also have this video here from UFO Mania, and this was a movie taken in the 1970s, 16 millimeter film by a scientist, very clear. Again, all these people have been saying for years, oh, there are no clear videos, or, all the photos and videos of UFOs are all out of focus. No, this one's, it's been around since the 1970s, nice and clear. And then this is a kind of a long clip, but we'll hear what this guy, Bob Etchler, has to say. He was a NASA mission specialist. And, I know a lot of people say, NASA's all BS. They're constantly lying, not a straight answer. And, which is true, but apparently this is one guy in the 1990s that was going around to different news shows and, revealing what he knows. But I think he was also pushing the idea that, that these things are visitors, when I think most of the insiders at that time knew that these things were actually originating from our planet. And then this video here, this is one of those videos that I'm not 100% convinced. This could be AI. I have no idea, but it's supposedly of this black goo substance, this living oil thing that, similar to like the venom organism in the movie Venom. This thing's actually moving around, supposedly seen in Vegas. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced. I think this could be AI, because I just can't believe something like this exists. Although I know I have read reports that that this thing is real, and supposedly the war in the Falkland Islands that the UK fought with Argentina in the 1980s was about this substance here. But anyways, look at that. Also, this is just some photos. Remember when that Chinese balloon was flying over the United States? And that was all the rage in the news, and supposedly we shot down a UFO over Alaska. But this is supposedly this the UFO that they shot down. Again, of course, initially I believed it, but after looking at this image a little closer, I'm not too sure. But of course, I could always be wrong. So we'll look at it, and you can make up your own mind. And then last, this is definitely going to be kind of long, which is why I'm going to leave it to the end. So if you don't want to hear it, you can always just end the video. But anyways, this is some kind of information that was never supposed to be released, or at least that's what it says here. I don't know if they were trying to hype it up by saying this, but confidential background info do not publish or discuss in lectures, on radio or TV, which is interesting, because then why would they put it in this 16 points? Yeah, 16 points about what this research has found out about these UFOs. Like, UFOs operate from terrestrial bases. At the present time, there is one or more bases per country in the United States. Others are being established at a rapid pace. Wow, so I guess aliens from other places are not just a U.S. problem, huh? Anyways, if you appreciate the time and effort I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video, and more importantly, please subscribe. But anyways, let's get to this first video here. You know, like I said, this is a mother and her daughter, and the mother's pointing out to her daughter, you know, this thing is up there. Let me just back this up just a hair.
You can hear me telling her where to look on my phone.
You're right there. Look where my thumb's pointing. See him?
It looks like it.
It's a human. He's just standing there watching.
So I used my thumb to show her on the screen. She said, "What's that?" Which should have been my first clue. It was not the look of a human if she didn't know what it was. I said human and ended the recording. Finished flipping my car around. We got out to the walk to the river anyways. I could still see him there. Still like he was at the end of the clip. He walked maybe 2 car spaces, so maybe 2 minutes or less. Looked again and he was gone. The air felt beyond still, maybe thick, like we were...
Yeah, look how long this person's or this being's arms are. Definitely much longer than a normal human.
Definitely foreboding. So we both got back in the car and left. RMSO states, in our experiences, there is rarely just one. There may have been another 1 or 2 down at the creek or had already traversed up over the mountaintop. So you may have had more than one set of eyes on you that day. Kelly continues, maybe that's why it felt so heavy feeling. More than one. I'll be honest, I was never into Bigfoot. I didn't doubt they existed because I think we are fools to think there isn't something living in these massive mountains that we don't know about.
Yeah, it was in the beginning, this guy here, who I guess this Rocky Mountain Sasquatch guy, he actually goes, you know, to this area and he finds these footprints.
There for a second, or like Jenny says, maybe it was just before leap. This mess, you know, he may have gotten his feet pretty close together to stop and look, or to leap. They're a little over 17 inches long.
Yeah, look, now, you know, I mean, this could be anything, or not anything, but it definitely is reasonable, I think, to assume or believe that these are, you know, these prints are being made by some type of upright creature. But what I want to point out is, look how far, again, if, you know, if these are Bigfoot footprints, look how deep the prints go into the soil. The soil is definitely kind of firm. So imagine how heavy this creature would have to be in order to push, right, the soil down that far.
And this one, at the widest points, a little bit less than 8 inches wide. Across the toes, you're getting about 8 inches wide there. And then this one over here, this one, it looks like it flipped a rock. This one, and remember, it's not necessarily the shape of their foot, but the damage they did to the ground. And this, it looks like this rock used to be sitting right here at the edge of the foot, and him hitting the edge here flipped the rock back. Much nicer than how we damaged the ground right here. I don't know. We're in a Bigfoot sighting hotspot area. These don't look like bear. They look...
You know, interesting how he says that this is a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. Okay, hotspots are, you know, obviously locations where certain things are seen quite often. So in Indian, you know, I've said it before about UFOs, right? We have UFO hotspots all over the world. So if we have Bigfoot hotspots, you know, again, that's because it's something of this world.
Look more like older Bigfoot, and he may be heading off that direction.
It's all mossy through there.
Yeah, the soil is couple. But yeah, I know I hear people say that, oh, there's pine needles in there, it can't be fresh, and it's like, I'm sorry, but yeah, I think he mushed the pine needles down that were already there.
Anyway, so yeah, so this guy, you know, goes over there and to check it out, finds a spot where they were, and Yeah, look at all of this space. The idea that people can't believe that there's other entities occupying, the areas that our species doesn't occupy. There's so much space out there. Anyways, let's go to this video here. Let me go back to the beginning here and see these guys talking about this light.
Jittering, bolting around the ocean, making maneuvers no airplane on Earth can do. And look at it. Look at it. It's, oh my God. That's an alien ship right there. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. Look at the size of the picture on that alien.
Now, yeah, I just want to make a comment about it. He says they're alien ships. He's implying that these things are coming from other planets, but of course, you know me, I don't think so. I think these are our advanced neighbors.
Well, the maneuvers it was making, I'll tell you right now, there ain't an airplane on this Earth that can do what that thing did. Red and green, I believe you. Yeah, now it's all white. And now it's moving, it's skimming the surface. What's in my way? If it's a USO, if it goes underwater, we know it's a UFO. The water's only 5 feet deep out there. What the hell is that? It's stopped.
Yeah, now see here, his camera, I think, goes into a different mode or a different filter is being applied. Now he thinks that it's, this UFO that knows that they're being watched, so they're affecting the camera. But I believe that I think that this light is just, it's a different wave. It's a different wavelength or whatever, or a different light is being emitted. So now, like for instance, we might be seeing this, like it in the infrared or the UV, because they talk about seeing this another red dot that can only be seen in the monitor, in the video monitor. It can't be seen with the naked eye, or at least not clearly.
There it is. Look, it stopped. Look. Why did your camera suddenly go dark? There we go.
Yeah, you hear when he says, "Why did your camera suddenly go dark?" There it goes. It goes dark again.
This camera will not. It knows we're filming it. It knows there's a red light underneath it. I'm telling you that. No, I'm looking at it on the camera.
Yeah, you see how he says he can see this red light on the camera, but they say, "Oh, we can barely see that red light with the naked eye." So I believe that this craft, or whatever you want to call it, is just emitting a different frequency of light.
It has a red tail. It has a red tail underneath it. Where do you see red at? On the camera. Look on my camera. Here, actor, on the phone. Look on the phone. It has a red light. Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. It does. I don't see that live. Yeah, you do. Barely. Yeah. But there's something over here to stop it, then I'll pull it. Oh, I was freaking out. I thought it was coming at us because it was coming. Now it moved further back.
Anyways, that's all that thing does. It doesn't do anything else. But apparently it was moving around, before they decided to get their phones out and start shooting. Okay, so let me go to this next one. Let's see. So this is from the 1970s. A professor or scientist shot this in the 1970s. Let's see what it says in the beginning here. A UN Outer Space Committee, along with others, watched this film recorded by a scientist on a 16mm camera in the 1970s and considered it one of the most valuable films for the authenticity of flying saucers.
You are witnessing a most amazing UFO film. It was viewed by the United Nations Outer Space Affairs Committee, the Congressional Hearing Committee on UFOs, and by the government-sponsored UFO investigation conducted at the University of Colorado, where the film was also viewed by the late Dr. Werner von Braun. This 16mm film was shot by Dr. Daniel Fry, a fully qualified scientist, and has been judged as a most valuable contribution to UFO authenticity. Experts have concluded that UFOs may have different planetary origins. If space beings exist, and they do travel in these space vehicles, there is nothing to prevent them from inhabiting various areas on this planet. Our egos would have to be enormous to think that we are the only intelligent beings in the universe. This picture was taken...
And our egos would have to be even bigger to think that we are the only sentient beings on this planet.
...in France in 1967. It remained motionless for 4 minutes. These two UFOs were photographed over Taormina, Sicily. They remained silent and changed position 4 times before vanishing. This photograph was taken during the International Geophysical Year by an officer in the Brazilian Navy. These objects were seen coming out of a cigar-shaped vehicle in Morristown, New Jersey. Early one Saturday morning, Mr. George Stock was aroused by his sons shouting, "There's a flying saucer above our house." This was in New Jersey. Some UFOs were motionless while others revolved. Dr. King, have any credit...
Let me just stop that right there. I don't want to play all of this, but of course, you know, you can check this out at the UFO Mania, their channel. Let's go to this next one here. Okay, yeah, so this is this guy, Bob Eschler, talking about aliens. Bob Eschler was a NASA mission specialist, and he talks about the existence of UFOs and aliens. And I'm sure, you know, at this time, again, he's going to, you know, imply that they're coming from other planets, which, again, I'm sure some of them are, but the majority are the beings that are here.
Piece of evidence that you've come across that convinces you that we have been visited?
Well, I started out extremely skeptical about this whole thing. I thought this was just rubbish from the tabloids, but I was surprised to find thousands of U.S. government documents from intelligence agencies that tended to indicate that there was a little bit more to this than met the eye. So I went to seek guidance from the various highest levels of the United States intelligence community, and I was quite alarmed at what I was able to learn.
Now, we are, in this report that we're now going to show, we're going to hear a conversation featuring you. Tell me the context of that conversation.
Well, I had contacted Admiral Bobby Ray Inman, who was the head of the National Security Agency in the United States, Deputy Director at CIA, Director of Naval Intelligence, and a variety of intelligence posts, a technologist, and clearly someone that, if this was really accurate, that there really were UFOs and non-human intelligence around, this is a man who had to know. So I was able to contact him thanks to a contact through Admiral Lord Hill Norton here in the UK.
Let me just stop this right here. I just realized he used the term non-human intelligence, and this was in 1993. You know, that term NHI has, you know, been used more recently, I think a lot. But, God, if this goes back to 1993, I wonder when it actually originated from.
In this conversation, he alarmingly not only indicated that these issues were covered under national secrecy laws, but that the United States government did in fact have possession of the hardware associated with this. In other words, this was an actual physical phenomenon.
A craft, a spaceship.
Several of them, and they were in operational condition, which I assume suggested that they had been in contact, that they had been given these craft for some reason or another, because they certainly weren't crashed vehicles.
Okay. Well, is there anyone out there? Sue Whitfield reports.
Houston, this is Discovery. We still have the alien spacecraft under occurrence.
Since 1947, when the term unidentified flying object was first coined, the American government is believed to have had more than a passing interest in UFOs. There have even been reports they've seized alien aircraft for secret testing, but it's never been confirmed. Now, for the first time, comments made by a former military intelligence chief seem to imply that at least some of the rumors could be true.
Do you anticipate that any of the recovered vehicles would ever become available for technological research outside of the military circles?
10 years ago, the answer would have been no.
Yeah.
Whether as time has evolved, they're beginning to become more open on it, is a possibility.
A short time later, Bob Exler received this call.
Mr. Exler, this is Tom King in Admiral Inman's office. Yes, you would be breaching confidence and or violation of the 53 laws and discussing his involvement in any matter.
I heard what you said earlier, but obviously the big problem always is the pictures are never conclusive.
The pictures, yes, are not conclusive, but when you get involved in an investigation...
Again, what would make him say that the pictures, right? You saw those videos that they just showed. What would make him believe that, again, this is in 1993, you know, before, you know, I think CGI was even invented. Again, I'm not positive about that, but yeah, I'm pretty positive that the digital capabilities, right, were not that good in 1993. And, you know, here's another point I want to make. This is, yeah, what, 30 years ago, they're talking about this, and people are still, you know, wondering, like, when disclosure is going to happen. When, again, guys like this were talking about this subject 30 years ago. Anyways, let's go on to this this black goo. This was kind of quick anyways. Yeah, let me just back this up a little bit. You can see this thing moving around. Like I said, this could be real. I'm not 100% convinced that it is. I just can't believe that this is real, but it could be. Anyways, you watch this and you tell me what you think.
This bizarre video of a black goo crawling through the Las Vegas Strip. My video titles always sound ludicrous, a black living goo crawling through the Las Vegas Strip, but they always do what it says on the tin.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, you see that right there, like how convenient that this thing is right in front of the Las Vegas sign. And, you know, like, I know that there are these, like those little tiny worms that travel in bunches like this, but this is definitely not that. And again, the fact that this is right in front of the Las Vegas sign kind of makes me believe that this isn't real. This has got to be CGI. Or, yeah.
So this was filmed by Jessica Shaw about 3 weeks ago while she was out jogging and she stumbled across this thing crawling across the street. Jessica uploaded this to her Instagram asking if anybody could identify what this creature was. The video's gone completely unnoticed with only 3 comments and less than 100 views the last time I checked. It looks like something you would expect to find in the ocean, but Vegas isn't a coastal city. In fact, the closest coastline to Vegas is around 270 miles away. So if this is an aquatic species, how did it get to be in the searing heat?
The question is why isn't anyone else looking at this? Why isn't she calling anyone else over to look at it? You know, that's what I would do, or I would assume, like, what? Yeah, just to bring someone else so that someone else would confirm it. Especially if, you know, if she's got a video camera, I would definitely have someone else come and look at it so that I could have them on tape, you know, acknowledging that this thing is there. Anyways, yeah, if you want to, you know, check it out, go to this disclosure screen, the Grim Reaper, Black Living Goo. Now, like I said, I'm not convinced that this is real, but I don't know if it was a document or saw a documentary. I remember, or, you know, on my old channel, before it got taken down, there was someone who sent me some information that this was real, and that the war that the UK had with Argentina and the Falkland Islands in 1982 or something like that, 1980s, that, yeah, it wasn't about territory or anything like that. It was about this stuff. Anyways, check it out. Let's go here. This is going to be quick. These are these photos of the supposed, you know, it's obviously a Tic Tac UFO, but this is what they said they shot down over Alaska when that Chinese balloon was flying across the United States. You see here, your question is like, who the hell is out there? Who the person that took these photos, how did they know to be out there? you know, and in this exact spot, right? Like, what are the chances, right, that this thing was flying around someplace in Alaska? Again, you know, one of the most uninhabited states in the country, yet this thing was shot over some random location, and then someone just happens to be in the vicinity to capture, you know, a photo this close. And if they captured a photo this close, why didn't they walk up all the way, right, and get some more even closer photos? And this object here does not look the same as this object here, because this here looks like it's got like a flat surface on it. Anyways, I'm skeptical about this. This is from this guy's X account, Mark Margavage, Mediomark at mediomark.com. So yeah, you want to check it out, go over there. Now let's go through this last video here from this guy Jay Anderson at Project Unity, Specialized Research. Now this says confidential background information do not publish or discuss in lectures on radio or TV. Yeah, so let's do that. It says, number one, UFOs operate from terrestrial bases. At the present time, there is one or more bases per country in the United States. What? At this present time, there is one or more bases per country in the United States. Others are being established in other places. It doesn't make any sense. There is one base per country in the United States? I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, most of the UFO occupants are controlled entities. The majority are only slightly different from us in appearance, but there are marked biological differences. There is no way to determine the identity or location of the controllers. Number three, although they utilize our technology and science, their own science seems to be more psychic and physical by our understanding of the term. Outbreaks of so-called psychic phenomenon provide important clues, and the people involved should be interviewed in depth, get their entire life history and ancestral history. They are primarily engaged in biological experiments aimed at gradually altering the physical, emotional characteristics of our future generations, expanding their bases of operations, thwarting or suppressing the activities of their enemies, other UFO groups racing to achieve the same ends. Yeah, again, from my understanding, you know, we have multiple advanced species sharing the planet with us, and they are not necessarily in contact with each other. I believe that they are aware of the, you know, the other presence, the other civilization's presence, unlike us, but they don't necessarily interact with them. And I think according to Linda Moulton Howe, there is a adversarial relationship with some of them. Several different groups are in open conflict, but all have the same goals and are using the same techniques. Some of these groups are less hostile towards us than others. There's no real way to judge the friends from the enemies, so great caution is advised in all approaches. Like who? I wonder who this went out to. Preparations are being made to eliminate biologically unacceptable types among terrestrials. Are they talking about us? And was that the reason for the jab? A very long-range plan is being followed by all groups. Major changes in the world's birth rates can already be noted. Yes, there's definitely an impact in women's menstrual cycles and the increase in infant mortality. Major changes in the world's birth rates can be already noted. Absolutely true. Seemingly natural catastrophes will occur on an increasing scale to further decimate the population. Oh, you mean like the major hurricane we just had this weekend that this administration seems to want to ignore while providing billions of dollars to other countries and people in this country from other countries? Anyways, Advanced inexplicable methods of mind control are being used by all groups more and more brazenly. Complicated measures for controlling the press and world governments are already being instituted. Oh, you mean like all the censorship that's being pushed, right, by only one side? A religion, notably Catholicism and Judaism, play a vital role in this situation. Many of the entities are programmed to present themselves as representatives of God. Religion has always been a tool, a mode of communication between the controller and man. Man has misinterpreted much of the information he has been given through this tool. The UFO occupants have been able to operate openly on a ground level because no one believes the reports of the witnesses and victims. Well, you can't say no one, because I definitely believe. And there are many more people like me. Anyways, there have been no communication between law enforcement agencies to determine the patterns in apparently outlandish complaints or to assess the scope and validity of these claims. Okay, that's not true anymore, because we now know that there was a report sent out by the U.S. police chiefs, whatever, right? And there is a reporting system now for law enforcement. The early contactee situations were cleverly contrived to make the whole situation seem absurd so that future contactees would be automatically discredited and increased activity would go unnoticed. Some of the groups involved are not cellular life forms at all, but are masses of intelligent energy, impossible to explain with our present-day science, controlled from a distance and reliant upon new charges of energy from a distant central source. Many nighttime sightings of glowing objects are really visible manifestations of this energy group. Now, I think I've told, I've revealed in one of my other videos that I did many, many years ago. I was renting a room. I had just moved out to New York. I got a place in the Bronx, and I was renting a room in this old house. And I woke up one morning and saw this little tiny bright orange light shining in front of my face. And I could feel its warmth. But I just assumed, because this house I was living in was super, super old, that it must have been the spirit of someone that, might have died in that room years ago or died in that house years ago. But, now I wonder if it was something else. Anyways, some of the groups involved, such as the Little Men, are formerly independent beings who have been brought under control and are now being utilized in the operation. Some of the groups involved, such as the Little Men, are formerly independent beings. The solid vehicles which are observed occasionally are not bound by the physical laws which we recognize. They do not employ anti-gravity or any other principles understandable to us. They are usually invisible to our minds, but not to cameras and other mechanical devices such as radar, and exist in greater numbers than is imaginable. Key terrestrial bases are usually equipped with one such vehicle. Yeah, I've said before, if we could see in the infrared or the ultraviolet spectrum, I think we would see a lot of these vehicles all the time in our atmosphere. Anyways, the bases are usually underground in thinly populated back road areas. When visible, they appear to be abandoned farms. These bases are equipped with elaborate communication devices designed so that they can be operated by terrestrials. They also contain the necessary medical equipment for the biological experiments mentioned above. Advanced telephone equipment is also installed in these bases, enabling the occupants to monitor and even control all telephone calls in their area without detection. Through some unfathomable system, they are also able to collect and examine mail sent to or from people in whom they are interested. Really, so this is saying that they have some bases that just look like abandoned farms, and they're equipped with special equipment that allows them to communicate with each other and also monitor us. They can read our mail, hack into our telephone calls. Terrestrials who blunder accidentally onto these bases when they are in full operation are usually brainwashed in some manner so that they retain no conscious memory of what they have seen. Those terrestrials who do not respond to this type of brainwashing are retained for experiments. The UFO occupants do not kill, but they do not destroy minds, or by controlling minds lead their victims to suicide. The majority of all contactees run in terror to the authorities, who never believe them, put them down as nuts, and don't even keep records of their complaints. Most of the others commit unaliving or go insane. A very small minority will remain in contact for months or even years. Often these contactees eventually volunteer for a trip. Some of these trips are of short duration, 1 month or so. Before taking a trip, the contactees are often required to sign a very legal form offering their minds and bodies for experimental purposes. Oh yeah, let's just sign away. And why would they need us to sign that away? I mean, if they can just do stuff like alter our brains or make us forget things, what's the purpose of making us sign NDAs? That's kind of ridiculous. Anyways, the UFO operations include seeding our atmosphere with an undetectable chemical by releasing angel hair into clouds. Oh yeah, and you mean the chemtrails, right? The persistent contrails. The same chemicals have been introduced into our water supplies worldwide since 1957. Oh, so that's what the fluoride is. We have now been absorbing these chemicals into our bodies for years. Eventually, it will produce a number of unpleasant effects, notably mental confusion and receptivity to a generalized mind control process. Apparently, this chemical is being stored in our brains, which are largely water, and when properly triggered, will turn us into controlled entities similar to the UFO occupants. So now this is the original document from this guy, John Keel. Here's a phone number. I wonder what would happen if you would dial that number. Again, and who did this go out to, right? Who was told not to publish or discuss it in lectures? And if the people didn't want that, why would they even put it on a document? Anyways, that's that. It's from this X account here, J. Anderson, Project Unity, at the Project Unity. Anyways, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for making it till the end. As I said before, if you appreciate the time and effort I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video, and more importantly, please subscribe. Until next time, take care.